Many people think they speak English, but then they meet the British, and suddenly English becomes less of a language and more of a puzzle with tea. Because the British often don't say exactly what they mean. They say what sounds polite, calm, and socially survivable. A British person says, "That's interesting." A foreigner hears, "Wonderful, he likes my idea." But what the Brit may actually mean is, "I strongly disagree, but I refuse to turn this into a crime scene." This is British communication. Soft words, hidden meaning, emotional fog. Let's decode a few classics. When a Brit says, "With all due respect," they are not announcing respect. They are preparing you for impact. It usually means, "I am about to disagree with you very strongly, but I shall do it wearing a verbal bow tie." When they say, "Quite good, be careful," in many cultures, quite good sounds positive. In Britain, it may mean acceptable, barely. Let's not get carried away. But then comes the reverse trap when a Brit says, "Not bad." That often means actually rather good. Yes, quite good can mean mediocre. Not bad can mean good. Welcome to the island. When they say, "It's fine," it is probably not fine. And when they say, "It's absolutely fine," well, run. That actually means I am deeply annoyed, but I shall now become aggressively polite. Another famous one, "We should have coffee sometime." This does not always mean coffee, you know. It may mean, "You seem like a decent person, and I now wish you well from a safe distance forever." Or perhaps I might join you later. Translation: I will not join you later, not because they hate you, of course, but because saying no feels too sharp, too exposed, too un-British. Then there is, "That's a brave choice." This sounds like praise, but it is not always praise. It may mean, "That jacket is a social experiment," or "That haircut has entered public life too early." British criticism often arrives dressed as admiration, and then we have, "I'll bear it in mind." This means, "I will place this thought gently in a mental drawer and never open it again." Now, why do the British do this? It's not simply because they are fake. That would be, well, a bit too easy. It actually comes from a culture that values restraint, politeness, and emotional control. For a long time, British society was shaped by class, hierarchy, manners, and the careful management of social discomfort. You didn't just say, "That is a terrible idea." Instead, you'd say, "Perhaps there may be another way of looking at it." Because, you know, directness could feel rude, aggressive, or just a bit socially clumsy. The goal was not only to communicate information, the goal was to preserve dignity. Your dignity, their dignity, the dignity of the room. That is why, many British sentences work like cushions. They soften the blow before the truth arrives. But for foreigners, especially people from more direct cultures, this creates chaos. A Dutch person may hear, "Interesting," and think, "Great, they are interested." A German may hear, "Perhaps we should reconsider," and think, "Perhaps." But the British person may mean, "Please stop immediately." So what should you do? First, listen to tone, not just words. A flat "interesting" is not excitement, it is a warning light. Second, notice pauses. A long pause before an answer often contains the real answer. Third, watch soft words. Perhaps, quite, rather, a bit. Possibly. These are not decorations, they are diplomatic smoke signals. And finally, do not force the Brit to say the hidden meaning out loud. If you ask, "So you mean it's bad?" you may create panic behind the eyes, because the whole system is designed to avoid exactly that moment. And once you understand this, British communication becomes less confusing and, well, more charming. It is not always dishonesty. Often it is kindness under pressure, a careful attempt to tell the truth without throwing it in your face. So, if you want to understand the British, don't just learn their vocabulary, learn their silences, because sometimes what they don't say is the clearest message of all. Captain Help, smarter every day, in every way.